There is a world as tangible as our own, impossible to see yet unavoidable to sense. A world enveloped by a seemingly unending ocean of forests. Buried deep in that forest, tucked away neatly within a blanket of twilight, lies a quaint little cabin. And in that cabin
is a bunch of guys, just a bunch of bullshit.
Welcome to SleepyCast, home of the SleepyCast.
I didn't need to reboot the whole thing. I need to introduce us as people.
Okay, today we have a special guest, Niall and Stamper.
Hey guys, I thought did I just get to
Corey's here too. Okay,
Get out, go.
today Corey has a very special topic.
He has a special announcement also.
I left
Corey.
for a couple of months. You guys are fucking remedial. What happened?
What's
You
remedial?
fell apart.
Remedial's like you know in like school when you do like higher level like mathematics remedial, then you do like the.
You mean intermediate?
It's like
Yeah.
hamburger meat.
Interremedial. It's kind of like anxious.
We get
and
worse.
No, that's what he's trying to say.
You're by the
F
book.
you, Stamper.
We use rulers when we measure.
Statistically speaking, people say season 2 is much better than
Who
season
uses rulers when they measure?
My wiener, baby.
Actually, I've never measured my dick.
When you were in
and
school,
no one believes me.
what kind of freak had a projector and like one of those like astro projectors things where you like mark it on the ground and then like record like lines with it?
What are you talking about? I
That's
thought
what they're called.
astral projections when you step out of your body when you're sleeping.
I couldn't think of the exact term.
Is this how the podcast has been going this whole time, dude? Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm talking about though? Those little circle ruler things, those astro projectors.
It's not an astral projector.
Let's just pretend that that's the term.
It's a protractor, dude.
Yes!
Yeah, that's what I
What are
meant.
you talking about?
That's what I meant.
Corey, when you go to
What
bed,
kind
you
of-
stand on a protractor and you step out of your body.
What kind of freak used one of those? Because
Everyone used those.
you know what? I went to school, right?
Everybody had to use those.
You remember when I
kind
was
of-
in 7th grade or like when I went to school, my mom would always like, I would get a trapper keeper because it wasn't cool to get
No,
a
yeah, it was
backpack.
in your teacher's like, you need number 2 pencils, a protractor,
Yeah.
a box to hold all your shit, crayons
Yeah.
for some reason, even though you're
Actually,
too old for crayons,
Now that you're
a
saying
ruler,
that, I
Yeah.
think I might have used that
a little
projector
pouch to
maybe,
hold some fucking things in.
I think I used that projector like 4 or 5 times in my life.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know those
It's-
things? Those like, are we talking about the semicircle?
protractor.
Yes.
Or the compass
How
thing?
did you get from astral projection to
Because he was
protractor?
calling
You
it
know,
that.
Shut up, Niall. So it's like this little upside down V-shaped thing.
Yeah.
You hold a pencil
That's a
on one
compass.
side, and the other thing.
It's a
in
rhombus,
here-
so you can make a perfect circle.
No, wait, no. Is a protractor like the thing here? No, that's a compass.
That's
right?
a compass.
Sweet.
So
It's this-
the semicircle is what's that called?
It's a protractor, dude.
Okay, so that's a protractor.
Yeah.
Okay, but what we're saying is they
That
tell
is a
you-
compass,
they-
you're
the
right,
teachers
those
are like,
are
go
compass.
buy those, but then you use them maybe 5 times tops in your life.
But when you're in math class, you need them.
No, you don't.
don't. You
don't.
need the
You're
5
learning-
times.
You're learning how to add and multiply.
You did honors maths.
What
Think
are
of the
you
people
doing?
who are stupid like me, Corey, and Stamper.
Yeah. You know what I remember from
Wait,
that?
Niall did honors math?
Yes, he's a faggot.
Wow, and he didn't know that? You didn't correct me earlier?
I didn't know that I was a faggot because I didn't do honors maths.
You know what I don't remember?
You do honors math?
Did you do
in the
honors maths?
dumpsters,
Yes or
like
no?
collecting beans? Leave.
No, you got
Podcast
he
now.
got a 600 on his leaving her. That's
No, I
part.
didn't. I didn't.
Oh, you got 500.
5 something.
Okay.
500.
I can't remember what I got. But I got,
Look,
What?
that's a really good.
I got high results.
Okay, so
That's
I can
final
hold this
exams.
for like the
SAT,
next
yeah.
like
Saturday,
2 months.
Saturday test.
The compass is the thing with the V and the pencil, right? With the pin that you draw
Yeah.
circles with.
Yeah.
And then the protractor is
It's the half crescent moon.
the crescent.
Yeah.
This with the
Yeah, which is
measurements
practical
on
for
it.
finding the angle of it.
It's
But
not-
you never
no,
get
it's
asked
not.
questions
No,
to
it's
do that.
not.
Maybe like 4
No, it's
times in your
not.
life.
Well, you do because you have to figure out.
I swear to God, I only used that like 4 times in my life.
You know what I remember?
In my
Hey,
life.
look, after you hit 20, did you ever go to the store like, I need a fucking...
I keep my protractor with
I
me
need a
everywhere.
fucking calculator, protractor. I need a rhombus. I don't know what those things are called.
Even artists don't use them when
That's
they need to
just
draw
a
circles.
shape.
They just learn
Dude,
to draw
we're
circles.
do.
Don't.
They don't.
Dude, to get perspective perfectly on paper, yeah, people
No.
do use those. To get the angle, yeah,
No,
you do.
they do
not
not.
in
When you
school.
go to college for animation, they make you learn how to draw a perfect circle with your hand. That's one of the first things you do.
Yeah, but that's not what it's for. It's for finding angles.
I know, but what I'm saying is that kids don't ever fucking need to do that.
But if you want to
The
get
only
perfect
visual
perspective-
tool I've ever seen an artist use is one of those dumbass wooden dummies that you could like kind of...
they don't even work good.
I
You
know.
can't even bend their legs
and
all
you
the
just
way.
look at it and still draw bad.
What are those?
They don't help at all. They're
Wait,
really
wait.
got wrong proportions, bad shitty anatomy.
Because we were talking about protractors, which is like the fucking
I'm so glad to be
Taco-
back. This is great.
the taco shaped like type of instrument thing. But what about the? Cause
Yeah,
this is
the
another
taco
one.
one.
There's the one was like you put a pencil in it and it has like a pin that holds your spot. That's another one.
For fuck's sakes, dude.
No,
What's
dude,
that?
Look, what I'm saying is
The compass, Corey.
That's a compass.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you called it the rhombus like 10 minutes ago.
Rhombus.
Yeah,
Corey,
It's a
where
rhombus.
were you the whole time?
It's
Look,
astro,
dude, I already
astro
felt like
projection, rhombus. The calculator. That's all
And
you
then you just went into space and then came
He's
back.
just like, Corey, find the angle of this fucking circle. I need to use my rhombus.
Hold on, I don't know where my wallet is. I keep my rhombus in my wallet.
I need to use my astro projection.
Corey,
My rhombus
know,
fell
it
on the
sounds
floor.
funny, but you guys knew exactly what I was talking about.
I knew
4
straight
minutes
away. It's just
later.
Coreyism. Like straight away, it's like, yep, he's talking about a
That's what
compass.
it is.
Your view of the world
I'm
is
first.
like about like 3 degrees skewed from the real reality.
I
Like,
broke my
a little bit.
rhombus.
You sure? Maybe you should check his compass.
I was gonna, yeah.
The teacher's like, you need to go buy a bigger rhombus.
Tell your mom to buy a bigger.
Do you live in like fucking? Do you live in like medieval times where they're like, bring your rhombus to school?
Everyone go
No, I
home.
thought that's
Make
what the
sure
name
to
of it
bring in
was.
your
Are you
rhombuses.
thinking about a rhombus? Isn't that a shape?
Did you go to
A
Hogwarts?
rumpus is like an ass.
I was thinking about Hogwarts too. I don't know why. I was thinking about
Rumpus
Hogwarts.
Postronius! That makes the ass part.
Wait,
Like a perfect example.
there's a room in The Simpsons that never gets seen called the rumpus room.
Oh yeah, the rumpus room.
What's the rumpus?
Where
room?
Homer
like-
sits on a beanbag and goes,
You're just talking about
Wait,
the one screen.
no, wait, hold, you saw the blueprint of
Yeah,
their
that
house?
one
Yeah.
blueprint. Yeah.
There's a
And
room?
how their house didn't make logical sense with like the garage. And
yeah, but that's to be expected.
Well, the Hellbenders.
I don't
house,
expect
on the
them-
other hand.
well, no, that's why
Fuck
I thought
Hellbenders.
you thought that. Like,
What? Oh, the rumpus room?
yeah, there's like they laid their house out, and through all the opening shots, they have the house.
Yeah. Okay. You know the shot where they're in the kitchen and,
And
you
then
can see a room.
they made the real Simpsons house
Yeah.
too, right?
Well, yeah.
And they try to like it's like
Yeah, that's when it started going.
Simpsons had like vomit colors in contrast to their actual yellow skin.
It somehow
Rooms
worked,
were
though.
That
gross.
happens with,
It
like-
works,
It
but
somehow works.
if they had peach skin, you'd be like,
Yeah, if they had pea skin, it would be disgusting.
we
think
talked
it's-
about that before.
what?
How like all the trees were blue and
Yeah.
this like odd things.
it's really goofy. But
only in
because
the
they
old
had
ones.
yellow skin, it worked. It was like fine.
I
Because
thought
the
Lenny was
contrast
black
made
at
sense.
first too, right?
He was black at first. Yeah. They changed
Ah!
No, Carl was black.
Oh.
it. No.
And then Lenny
Someone
was. Wait, is that an inside joke? That I
And Smithers was black.
Yeah, Smithers was black.
was
Yeah,
black.
and,
Yeah,
and
Smithers
Matt
was-
Groening said he was actually supposed to be white, but the animators fucked it up in episode 1.
No, but I was gonna say, you know, when you have a series and like you
He's
know,
got a series that fucking big and prominent. At this point, he'd be like, "Yeah, Smithers is black." I mean, no, wait, no, Mr. Burns is black.
maybe there was like a black animator who's like, I want Smithers to be black.
Yeah,
And
like the
then
first social justice warrior was like, "There's no."
He's
not
like,
enough black
you
people."
know, and you know what? Now I'm gonna make him gay. So fuck you.
The
He was
gay
really
black
He was kind
Smithers.
of like a light coffee with like.
He
a
was
lot of-
black.
Don't get into semantics
I
here.
always
Wait.
thought Flanders was kind of like a blackish, like Bill Cosby style.
semantics?
character.
No, he's
the semantics is like the nitty gritty of
No,
something.
Ned
Like
Flanders.
when
Can I
you're,
measure it with
when
a
you're talking about,
protractor?
You
like,
can.
let's say, let's go inside the box, figuratively speaking, and then you're like, well, what if the box doesn't have enough room for me? What if it's a small?
Listen,
like,
nigga, I think outside the box.
Yeah, he's never in the box.
But
dude.
what if it's a refrigerator box? You can completely fit inside of
Dude,
it.
there's
Those
No,
are the-
right, I
that's
just
the
called you nigga, and
semantics.
you're white, dude.
You said
That's what I'm
nigga,
talking
though.
about.
That's thinking outside the box.
I remember once I was shocked. Me and Stamper were
That
going.
was like Inception twice.
Me and Stamper were going into the sleepy cabin office once, and there were like 2 black dudes, and
Really?
Stamper was like, "Hey nigga," and they were like, "Hey nigga," and I was like, it was like a weird thing of
We talked
reality.
about this exact
Oh, did we?
situation. Yeah,
Oh,
we
sorry.
talked about it that day.
Oh my bad.
At the office
I
or
still
on the
think about
podcast?
The
it.
day that it happened, we were having a podcast.
Oh, we had a podcast that day. Oh yeah, well,
Episode
that was. I
14.
still think about that. Oh, you know the episode?
No,
You're like fucking.
I'm
Raymond.
always quick to reach for number 14 in any situation
Why?
because
Is
it's
your lucky
bigger.
number?
It's bigger than 10, but it's more.
What do
than
you think of
12.
the number 13? Is that unlucky?
It's supposed to be.
Is it?
My dad's afraid of flying on Friday the 13th. He
Really?
always makes sure not to book a Friday 13th.
You know
think
what's
it's retarded.
fascinating to me though?
What?
Like it's Friday the 13th and like the number 13th, but how many people remember that it's when Friday the 13th is? It's like, you know, when bad luck comes, like when is
Yeah, what?
Friday
Everyone in the
13th?
world has bad luck that day? Like, what? Everyone has the flu and then it's fine?
They still do that at hotels. You always
can,
skip
yeah.
the 13th
Yeah,
floor.
because people don't want to be on the 13th
Well,
floor. 'cause
13
they think,
is-
Which is weird because it's a really professional. It's like, hey, I'm an architect, but
Yeah,
you know, despite the fact that I make this much money,
These guys
I'm
are
doing this-
PhDs and they're still afraid
It's
of
like,
it.
well, you have to go ahead and skip that.
Do they like literally like have it so it like goes up? Like there's nothing there.
you go to
It's like-
MagFest soon?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
You hop
going.
in the
Yeah,
elevator.
go 12,
look.
14.
But is there? What I mean is like, is there a space below? That's just
No,
like,
No,
no,
they
no.
just skip it. It's
They
like
just skip it.
11, 13.
Yeah, there's no, like,
Like a,
Spooky.
like a little
12,
tiny
14.
floor where all the house elves live.
There's no like creepy pasta like 13th floor that no one goes
It's like,
to. in
yeah,
every
there's like
hotel
a
room.
ghost
You can
floor.
like stop the elevator halfway and then kind of crack the elevator open and like.
Like platform 9 3/4. Like,
all these spirits are like, oh,
no.
close it.
No matter what building you make it, that happens. It just.
That's that obvious thing, which even when you're on the 14th floor, you're still on the 13th floor because it's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there.
No, it's still
Do
the
you,
13th
do you
floor.
remember when we shot the thing for Table Flip? The first time we shot it, we stayed at that one hotel.
Yeah.
That was the hotel where all that shit went down for years, and I had no idea about. You know that girl that died in the water tanks? That
Oh,
was
you were
the
in
hotel.
there. The Eliza Lamb thing.
Yeah, we
That's
were-
okay.
What the fuck you? That was in like North Korea or South Korea?
No, that was California.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was
That
South
that
California,
hotel
yeah.
we stayed at was the hotel that had happened.
Oh, was that a Freudian slip because she was like Korean?
Yeah, I think she was Korean.
Yeah, I
Or I
guess
think she was
so.
Asian. I don't even know if she was Korean.
Did you know that we stayed at a hotel that is considered like, you know, people have died from like murderous people and people just go crazy in that hotel?
That was a pretty sweet hotel. The only
It
thing I
was.
remember from that fucking hotel is that when we went there, like 9 people. The dude that picked us up and drove us there,
Yeah.
he was like, "Hey, do you know anything about this hotel?" And we're like, "No." He was like, "This is where all the Munchkins from the Wizard of Oz stayed." And we were like,
Didn't they all kill themselves?
That's cool."
No.
Like
Yeah.
all at the same time. And then like the next
It would have
morning,
been like a historic
somebody
moment.
else was like, "Hey, you know this is a hotel where all the Munchkins from all the Wizard of Oz stayed?" And we are like, "Yeah."
Yeah, we got told that.
Why is that?
Cool, that's really cool. What room do they stay in? And that happened like 9 times. Like, yeah, I fucking get it. I didn't like the Wizard of Oz to begin with. And then I remember one morning I woke up and like, yeah, there's breakfast downstairs, and it was the shittiest, most
terrible.
pathetic thing I've ever
They serve
seen.
munchkin for breakfast.
I came down late and Corey was downstairs. He was just bummed. He was sitting at a table eating toast and trying to put
Toast and
bread.
melon.
This was in LA, right?
Yeah.
But like, if it's in LA, there's obviously going to be some form of celebrity staying somewhere.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened.
The
exactly.
Munchkins is like the lamest
the
thing.
least. That's Sniper's
It's
point. I
like
think.
Tom Cruise will walk into a coffee shop. It doesn't mean anything.
Hey, you know the house we live in right now? Denzel Washington spent the night at that house like 19 blocks away.
Denzel Washington.
So,
shot-
You feel that energy? You feel it soaking into you right
Just
now?
some
When me
man.
and Corey went to table flip the second time, they put us in a hotel and we got there and we got
Corey was bummed. I was like, I snuck into the dining room and I kind of peeked around the corner. He
Yeah.
was sitting there trying to enjoy his coffee.
But-
and spread shit
But
on.
look, we had these guys pick us up, bring us to the hotel. We got our cookie from the front desk, and then we were just like, "Fuck this!" We went and stayed with Aaron and Susie.
we just
anyways,
stayed with Aaron and Susie. He booked us at
Yeah,
a
I did
hotel
the
that we
same
didn't even
thing last
stay at.
time I was out there. I was like, hey, I'm going to sleep on your couch.
I've never
They're
been to
like,
LA.
cool.
There's really no reason to because of that.
LA is kind of broad.
Is it like worth?
Smells-
Is it worth visiting, or is it just because like you
worth
might?
going to see Aaron and Susie.
that's
Well,
definitely
yeah, no,
worth
they're- well,
visiting.
friends are there. Yeah, well, but,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. For a
LA
week.
is kind of a broad term. It's like so many. This is like Burbank and Glendale and
Hollywood.
what's it called? Studio City and all that shit.
I was looking up like.
When you say LA, it's just like this big.
It's only worth visiting if you've got
If you have friends
access
there.
to the like cool things.
Yeah, you like it's like ooh the Hollywood sign. Who gives a shit? Like
Yeah.
Actually, I had no interest in seeing the fucking Hollywood sign because I heard it's like miniature and there's just like homeless people around it constantly.
People always get mad at me
Every
for
time I
this.
see the Hollywood sign, it's like it says Hollywood, and then like the D is spaced like way off to the
bother
right. It bothers the shit out of me every time I see the
I
movie.
never fucking noticed.
Like the D
Hollywood.
is like forward and off to the right, so it's like Hollywood.
it's like another O. It's like
Is it-
Hollywood.
When you
They
guys
don't
like
care.
play video games that are like based on real places, and then when you go to the real places, are you guys like less impressed?
Yeah, usually.
Because
Really?
that happens
What do
to
you
me.
mean?
Like when I played GTA 4 the first time, I played it to death, and then I went to.
I knew you were gonna bring up GTA.
Then I
right?
went to
Yeah,
New
me
York, and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
But it's weird because it shouldn't be like that, but it is like that.
yeah
for
they're
me.
so accurate now.
Didn't GTA 5 have like the Hollywood type sign?
Vinewood.
Which is kind of.
Yeah.
GTA 5 kind of sucked.
Fuck you. GTA 5's my favorite. Anyway,
not. You hate it.
let's move on.
Okay, so I wanted. There was
Wait
a
a
top.
second, Niall didn't like GTA 5.
No, but that was all I had to say.
You don't like it?
I did kind of.
Chris, you liked it?
No.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should,
okay.
yeah.
There you go.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was trademarks, and I guess what was the other term? There's like another one you said.
Copyrights.
There's copyrights, and for me, I really don't like patents.
Patents.
You don't like
You're gonna have
patents?
to tell me what
I don't
patent
like
is.
patents.
But
I
like
like them.
trademarks, I never understood the concept of a trademark. I mean, trademark, like it's marked and you trade it, but can you use it at any point?
Can you trademark the protractor or the compass?
No,
That's
I
a
think
patent.
their tools have been used since the 15th century. I don't.
Oh,
So
yeah.
a patent is like a...
Patents can be used for like machines or software. Or
And now
anything
it's
like
time
that.
for
Trademarks
definition hour
and
with
patents.
Chris. Define patent.
It's a thing that shows that you came up with the idea,
Yeah,
I guess,
I think
or
that's a good
that
idea.
Copyright.
you're the first person to kind of put your name on it
Yeah,
and
you have
be
to
like,
prove
it
it.
belongs
Is that
to
still
me.
patent?
Like, I don't know. A patent's for like more so an idea, but a copyright and trademarks are more so for like, yeah, you know,
I guess what I'm
companies
thinking
or
of-
whatever
Copyright
brands.
seems so loose though. Like
Yeah.
there's also like that. What's it like a creative copyright where you don't have to do anything legal.
Let's
or-
preface this by saying we don't know anything about any
Yeah, we're
of
not
this.
lawyers. We're not.
No,
even close.
I don't.
We're not
I just
claiming
know
to.
As
that.
far as I know, that you
As
don't
far
have
far as
do
we
any-
know.
There's like the creative copyright.
But
right?
it's like it falls into a gray area because what's considered fair use when you're using trademarks?
Well, no, like when you're writing something online, like you just like you can't. Like, for example,
you can't. You have to put
you have
trademark.
like Facebook and you're writing like shit all day. It's like that's kind of falls under the creative copyright
Yeah.
or something. I don't
Like
fucking know.
I get it when someone wants to trademark their brand or their cartoon or something like that, but there's all these software patents that limit games. So now
Why worry, baby?
Oh yeah,
sucks because you can come up with a game, but then some other company will have a patent on like a gameplay element that you'll have to pay them to use.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that
gameplay
was like
elements is
yeah.
gay.
that was
that's shit.
fucking Dragon Ball Z
You mean
had
like
this
an
thing.
engine or
No, like let's say I think Namco has
well-
a patent on loading screen minigames.
Yes, exactly. It was about to. I think it's Bandai.
Oh, Bandai. Okay.
Yeah, because Dragon Ball Z
Isn't
had
it
these.
Namco Bandai? It's like split.
I think
like
so.
This,
Yeah.
But they had this thing where you could play mini
Fucking
games before
Bandai,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
But it's like the patent. I guess the patent's up.
Oh, it literally went up this year, I think.
But it's like, are you fucking
So you
serious?
play like Pac-Man
Mini
while the
games and a
fucking
loading
Tekken is
thing?
loading?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's the reason why you're not allowed to like fuck around with shit during loading screens was because these
It's
guys
'cause
had a patent
That is
on it.
horrible. That,
Yeah.
Like I like patents, but not.
But that's the
sort of
problem with
shit.
trademarks.
What do you mean fuck around with
is
shit
the
during
rules?
loading?
Is the unfairness?
Like, let's
No,
say
but
you're
They
what-
exist to be fair, though.
Let's say you're playing.
No.
They
Not
exist. No,
necessarily.
Look,
the reason why they
Stampers.
exist is to
Everything
make things-
exists to make money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but let's
number
say
one.
you're playing like what Crash Bandicoot, and then you like run out of the screen and it starts loading. Right now, it says loading in the corner and it's blinking loading for like what 20 seconds. You're like, I'm bored. You could have had a little mini thing to do there, like smashing X to make fucking Crash Bandicoot jerk
Oh, you
off,
mean like
anything like
in
that.
Devil May Cry 3 where
Yeah.
I could shoot the loading thing
Yeah,
by tapping
exactly.
X?
But that-
they have a patent on
that's
that,
their
so you're not allowed to
patent.
do that anymore.
That's
that's
fucking
their
gay.
patent.
they were allowed to do it.
There's another patent on I think it was King of Fighters had a patent on their training system for like teaching you how to play the game. So that's the only game that's allowed to train you in that specific way.
I think you guys are all base.
Base.
That's very broad.
It is very broad.
We're talking in a term like so if you were
You're acting like anybody could just like say, oh well, you can't do this. It's like saying that you can't use the color blue in video games.
I know that's my
because I fucking
point.
can
But
do.
it's true that like they will sue you if you do that unless you pay them to do that, and that's
Yeah.
not a lie.
That
It's-
shit is gay.
That's
shit is
not a lie at all.
What do you think of they changed the whole
I never said it was a
legality?
lie.
I
What
know,
about people
but
who hold on to
you're
trademarks
making
and
it
don't
seem
do
like they're
anything
not
with
going to
it?
bother suing you. They will sue you over that.
What
Oh
about
no, I
people-
know that.
Yeah.
But
What about people who hold on to words and don't do anything with it? Like the guy who had Edge. Like he fucking didn't do anything with it.
Well, I'm
Stole
pretty
the
sure like your patents or copyrights will eventually expire.
They will. They have to.
Yeah.
You can't
What's
legally
edge?
have it. Edge was a word that's like it had like a nice meaning.
so somebody patented the word edge and you
Yes.
can't use it anymore?
No, so it's like you couldn't say edge. You couldn't use edge in your products if you're trying to sell something. You couldn't have edge. You couldn't.
Okay, again,
move
I
it
think
edge
you guys are
tomorrow.
very off base here.
Maybe.
What am I doing wrong?
This is
Nothing.
completely by ignorance, but it's like, can people really own words like that?
Oh,
like,
is that the question?
yeah, can you
Okay.
own edge
No,
and
you
like
could words are just like sounds from
But-
your mouth. It's so weird.
Sony tried to put a patent on Let's Play.
Yeah,
Well, they
they did.
trademarked the word,
Trademark.
but they didn't do anything with it, which I think is completely acceptable.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? You're
Well,
supposed
if
to
they
do
fucking
something with
trademark
it?
Let's Play, it's
Then
not
why
going to
bother?
stop people from doing that.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe
thing.
they trademarked it before some evil corporation. was
Exactly,
doing
and
it.
that's
Yeah.
a good. Like, I don't mind it when people trademark something and then don't do anything wrong with it. They're just
Yeah.
trying to stop other people.
Yeah,
doing
that's
shit
good.
wrong with
But
it.
if you're trademarking a
Why
word
could you
like
still
edge,
play
Huh?
under another name? Call it Green Play. There's no end to the things
Green
you can do.
you could just call your username. Like if you wanted to do Let's Play Stamper Plays. All right,
Yeah.
what word would you trademark? If you could take a word and be like, no, you can't. My word.
Huh?
It can't be something broad. It can't be pussy. It can't be butthole or butt or anything. But
Yeah.
it can be something like
Can I create-
rambunctious
trade-
ass. You
Can I
you
trademark like the
that.
word queef? Can I like just make that?
No.
That would be a huge waste.
I would love to do that.
I feel like you shouldn't be able to have broad
And a
terms.
big regret later.
Anytime anyone queefs,
You-
Corey just said you could trademark any word in the world,
But you
and
can't do
chose
broad
tweet.
terms.
Queef.
But you could be the queef. You could have the queef.
What about
that's the worst superhero.
Now he's gonna be sitting in his office with his tie and his shirt, like Queef Inc. It's like somebody beats on his door. He's like, "Please come in," and he's got his little like Dumbledore glasses with the half moons, just like looking over documents. He's like, "Yes, well, why do you want to work for Queef Inc.?"
Queef Inc. sounds like an infected pussy.
Yeah. What if they said like? Is your
Ink
name?
comes out every
Queef
time,
Inc.
like an octopus. Like
The people coming in is just like, so is this? Do we witness girls queefing? You pussy
no,
farts?
it's nothing to do with queefing. It's just called queef.
What if
I
someone
encourage
slammed the
somebody
paper down?
right now to
Yeah.
go and file all the paperwork for Stamper
no,
What if somebody?
and everything I've ever done.
Okay.
you're fucked, dude.
Niall.
You really think
Niall,
so?
what if somebody went into
don't
your
think-
office while you had the glasses set up? He came in, slammed the papers down, and he said, "I own the word pussy farts."
Yeah, I don't
Screw
queef.
you.
Make up your own word for pussy fart.
I am suing you. Get out of here.
That was the most serious I've ever seen Corey.
I thought this
he
was
did
a
like
real
the finger on the couch. He was like, "I own the word pussy farts, and I'm suing
I thought
you,
it was a real scenario.
sir."
I felt, yeah, no.
It's too real for Niall.
I'd say queef is
I'm
different.
Pussy Fart Productions. You cannot be queefing.
Yeah, queef isn't just pussy farts though. Queef can be when the air is pumped inside. It's not
just
actual.
let the lawyers decide.
Theoretically, not a fart.
Or like
about-
when you're having sex and like you push your wiener in
They always do.
air comes out.
I know they always get
and
embarrassed.
she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
yeah,
someone
sometimes they
else
laugh,
comes
sometimes
in.
they just kind of ignore it. But you know
How
what
far?
happens.
But okay,
And then
so
sometimes they like combo like an ass fart, and
Oh,
that is
that hasn't
and then
happened. Not that I know
so
of.
you own queef.
Yeah, not that I know of.
This guy owns pussy farts. Someone else comes in with another term, like
This is the worst conversation ever. This is the most bullshit
Vaginal-
conversation ever. You guys live in
Vertebrae.
constant fear, don't you?
of what?
Your fucking Pee-wee video got taken down over this shit.
True,
Yeah,
it did.
of all the things that I've done, that one thing, and you know what? It's still up, dude.
Where?
On Facebook, where hundreds of thousands of people are looking at it. Got
But
taken
what I'm
down in
saying,
one
It's still
what
on
I'm
Facebook?
saying
Well,
is
it's not gonna
that
get taken down on
you
Facebook.
still have to slightly worry about that shit because there's assholes who will just take advantage of it.
I'm not worried. If someone took Spaz Kid and pussy farts,
You're not wrong.
I'm not saying that like, oh, you gotta worry about every little thing, but what I'm saying is it's kind of bullshit that people aren't allowed to be creative and have their own little gameplay elements without checking a fucking giant book of patents
At
first.
the same time, I agree, but at the same time, I think you're overthinking things, and it's not as bad as you think they are.
It is kind of with games. It kind of is.
So what's your option? Go home and cuddle up in a blanket and never do anything again?
Well, what I'm
Work
saying
around
is,
it.
like, let's say you're really talented, program creator, and you're like, I want to make a new animation software that'll help animators, but then you gotta be all like, oh wait, Adobe has patents on this specific.
That's another thing. When like people own the market, like EA owns every
Yeah.
single sports game ever made now.
That's why there's no actual like perfect, software because they have to do workarounds without getting sued by other guys.
Well, let me hit you. Me and Mike, we made Swivel.
Yeah.
The end.
That's non-profit.
Huh?
Non-profit.
Oh, so you're thinking about strictly profit.
I didn't
yeah.
know you were
they
involved
made
in
it to,
Swivel.
to keep the patent so
But
they
they,
can keep making money.
they still could technically take it down even though it's non-profit because they own the patent, but they probably won't because it's non-profit.
Did you hear about the Disney changed the whole legality of trademarks because Mickey Mouse was out of date?
I think we talked about this last time.
Oh,
did we
did
not?
you?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I thought
we
we
talked
did.
about Mickey Mouse.
We talked about how Disney owns Marvel, but like Captain America is like more than 50 years old. So in the old laws, he would have been fair use by now, and anyone in the world could have made their own Captain America cartoons.
They did that with Mickey Mouse too.
I think
Yeah.
Disney's done wonders with Marvel and like Star Wars and everything.
You're an intelligent person.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Fucking
What?
live life.
I'm not saying that I'm not gonna live life. I'm just saying it's bullshit.
I'm a gamer. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job.
I am a
I
gamer.
don't want my white picket fence in my 95 job.
I don't want a 2.5.
I
kid.
saved Princess Peach.
You can't deny that people don't get fucked on a daily basis because of this stupid law shit.
Niall defiled.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't, because you got fucked.
In what way?
Pee-wee taken down.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, that's where
It's
you-
up a million other places.
Pee-wee
I know,
Herman.
but now you can't make your money from
You know
it.
what happened? Pee Wee Herman saw your video.
Oh,
What?
Now he's like,
Stamper, Pee Wee Herman saw your video. And he's like, I do not, I can't do his voice. I do not sound like that. Just like,
Pee Wee Herman saw my video.
I got rid of him. I can't
He's
do
like,
it.
well, boys and girls, I'm gonna put my brand new movie out on Netflix and not get any views. And then I'm gonna die.
That's a
Never
good life
watch
plan.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure. It's a good one.
You know what? He should give me a little bit of credit. He can't even do his own voice anymore. I can do his voice better than he can.
That's because he has 12
That motherfucker is so old.
He's got
like the
12
fucking Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, he's got
And
12
makeup
layers
isn't
of
helping
makeup.
much anymore.
It's like a fucking brick of makeup on his face.
he still looks
to
old.
hide
He's
his
got those
old
little,
age.
like-
You know what? I still love the guy though. Because
I do,
Pee Wee's
too.
Big Adventure is a fucking masterpiece.
He's got those little kind of corpsey lips.
I've never seen Kiwi or Pee Wee.
corpsey lips.
Never
This
seen
little like
anything.
pink dying.
Now he goes,
Like he was,
Sounds like no.
what's it called? Like somebody like painted him on his deathbed. to,
Yeah,
like, make
exactly.
him-
That's exactly
what
what, he
is
looks
Pee-wee?
like.
Is he like
that
Mr.
is
Bean?
fucking negative,
They
dude.
threw white powder at him.
You said it first.
What? I just said corpsey lips.
I'm just saying. I guess that is
Pee-wee-
pretty negative.
Is Pee Wee like American Mr. Bean
yeah.
kind of thing?
What?
What?
Basically,
What
yeah.
Is he?
He's like a kid's show.
I would actually consider Pee Wee to be America's Mr. Bean.
That's
Because I
true.
don't know. I
Except
More or
Mr.
less.
Bean is less
Mr. Bean,
fantastical.
Mr. Bean doesn't talk though, but he has like a charming like.
I think Mr. Bean kind of
really goofy.
He attacks the mind a little bit more, where you have to kind of make up. You have to fill in
Because
the
he doesn't say
It's-
anything.
it's
He's just
funny,
like,
though.
blanks.
like he'll
Do
be
you
pointing at
guys,
something and he'll be
do
like
you guys
this.
like Mr. Bean or
I
dislike
do.
Mr.
I
Bean?
like
No,
Mr. Bean.
Anytime that came on when I was a kid, it was
I
like
like the
trash.
comedian.
I love
You
it.
don't.
I love Mr. Bean.
Oh, okay.
I like the comedian.
Well, you asked that question.
You're
It's like,
No,
Rowan
because
Atkinson.
people either love him or hate him
Rowan
usually.
Atkinson, yeah.
you think so?
Yeah.
I've never met one person that hated him.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of
I
people.
like
that
the
hate him.
actor, and I also like Mr. Bean.
Remember
Rowan
there was,
Atkinson.
there was like a period
funny.
of time on airplanes where all they played was Mr. Bean. Did
Yeah, I
that
remember
actually
that,
happen?
yeah.
That actually did
On
happen.
airplanes?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just like this timeless.
Because anyone
thing.
would, because everyone just loves Mr. Bean. It's like put on Mr.
Just
Bean.
funny.
I mean, that's a
No one
character, though.
complains.
You say Mr. Bean, right? But for example, like...
His cartoon show fucking stinks, though.
Yeah,
I like
remember
Rowan
that.
Atkinson and Mr. Bean, right? But I didn't care for Blackadder.
Oh, Blackadder. There's actually, some Blackadders aren't good, but there are some Blackadders that are good. Like they.
I've seen some good
Blackadders.
Blackadders.
Yeah, they do some different.
Season
time
one's kind of stinky.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
You know the
but
one
when
they-
you tell somebody to watch Blackadder, it's like season
Yeah.
one is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't start from season
Blackadder.
That
one.
movie was good.
Blackadder. It's like Rowan Atkinson. It's like I think
Blackadder
it's
goes
before Mr. Bean.
fourth.
His
What was it
show
called?
before that.
Where he goes back in
Yeah,
Time
that's the
Machine?
good one. The 99. Yeah, the
I
99.
didn't know it was a Blackadder movie.
Yeah, it goes forth. It's like it's set in the modern day and he goes back in time. But it's really good.
We're talking about shows that like feel like they're like timeless, but they feel completely like we were talking about this before. But like Twilight Zone is something you can watch at any point.
Oh, at any point.
It's like timeless.
That's because the stories are
it's
just like
really
They're
good.
gripping, like,
they're
yeah.
not
They're-
like written around any modern themes or
And
anything
there's
like
no
that.
But it's
CGI,
like-
primitive.
But
shit.
it's like fascinating what you said, where you said like you kind of piece the colors together and you can kind of see what the place looks like because
Let me
it's
interrupt
almost,
you for a second, Corey. I feel like a fucking dumbass. I didn't know the difference between a compass and a protractor.
I didn't know. Yeah, I was calling it a fucking rhombus
on.
and astro.
Go on.
It's like an hour ago.
I know.
No, it's just like
it's still eating at him.
you see like something like Leave It to Beaver. I hated Leave It to Beaver, but Twilight Zone, I like Twilight Zone because
Yeah.
the stories are way more engulfing.
I just
and
barreled
shit.
through all of those again.
It's a good
It's
show.
on
There's
Netflix
I have
right
it-
now, currently.
I have it on Hulu. I have
By the
it's
time
like
you
every
listen to this,
episode.
20 years from now, it's not going to be there anymore.
I never got into like Three Stooges kind of
I
shit.
have the, really.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I wasn't
Yeah,
feeling
it's-
Three
it's
Stooges.
Three Stooges.
Oh, it's the
got into
funniest
that
shit
guy.
ever. No.
Which
Yeah,
one?
no,
the
no,
the
it's
old
not.
ancient one.
Yeah.
That's like the quality sounds like it's coming.
Yeah,
out of,
yeah.
like
You
a-
know, people are saying it's the best thing that's ever been created. Like,
No,
don't think
black
it-
and
the
white
newer
shows.
one is
the movie
better.
Citizen Kane kind of sucked. Let's throw it out there.
Oh, agreed. Truthfully, agreed.
What
I've
is,
never
what
seen
is
it.
Citizen Kane?
It's a fucking movie. Oh yeah,
He's
Rose
this guy.
Gold-
He's a
is it a
citizen
movie?
and he has this cane and he goes around whipping kids with it.
He's a senior citizen.
He's-
that sounds
The
awful.
plot for Citizen Kane. He's a citizen of this town. He has his cane. There's kids, and he whips them with the cane.
And he's like,
And at the end of the movie, he's like, I should probably stop doing that.
At the end of the
and then
movie,
and he spreads his asshole and calls it
Obama
Rosebud,
walks up and
that's
he's
it.
like, "You are now a
And then he puts
citizen."
his cane in his asshole.
Rosebud. That's it. The end.
Oh, is that the Rosebud movie?
And he's transported to the future because his cane was magical.
And this is Citizen Kane.
And he
No, everyone
smashes it and
loves
he
Citizen
turns
Kane.
away.
It's one of those.
It's the most classic movie of all time.
Everyone's always like, Citizen Kane is
Yeah.
the greatest film of all time.
No, it's always these movies are very ahead of their time.
Boring.
That's it.
Oh well, yeah. In fairness, it was ahead of it. It was like one of the first movies.
And
that
that's
had
it. You can't say it's a good movie, or you can't say it's a bad movie.
Yeah, because it was the format of all
it's
the
all
movies. The way
standards.
that
Like by today's standards, you look at it and you say, "Yeah, I get why it's a good movie." But
the
to
way
say
things
it's
are
the best
cut,
movie
the way
of all
things are
fucking
cut and
time.
edited and the cinematography is all like that was like the first one to do all that shit. But at the same
it's
time,
Oh,
it's
we're
like
gonna
a
get
shit
crucified for that one. I
Like
don't
the
give a
first
shit.
horror
I don't give a
movie
shit.
is like
I've never
Psycho.
seen it, so I don't have an
The
opinion.
first like real like
You'll watch
horror
it and you'll
was
be like,
Psycho.
"Oh yeah, I get it."
movie. Yeah,
It's very like point A to point B. Like everything is just.
There's like a category of movies where you can't really watch them because they've been parodied so much, and you've watched The Simpsons and Family Guy
Exactly.
and everything, so it's just ruined. So there's no point of even.
The
looking at
one
it.
movie that stood apart from that was The Shining, though. Like I thought
Yeah.
that I would never be able to watch.
That's a
The
very good
Shining.
example.
And then I watched The Shining. I was
That's
like, wow,
true.
that is a truly fucking well done movie.
Did you see the TV show they made of The Shining?
I saw that.
Yeah,
They tried to make
it
more close to the
It
book,
was
but
terrible.
Stephen
Yeah.
King made that one.
yeah, because he hated the movie apparently. He
Yeah.
hated
Man,
the,
Stephen King, he makes some fucking stinkers. Like seriously.
Stephen King hated The Shining?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the one with Jack Nicholson. So
Do
he
you
made his
remember-
own version.
That's so weird, because didn't he do Dreamcatcher? And a
Yeah.
lot of other bullshit garbage
Do you
fucking-
remember this?
He wrote so
horrible,
many
terrible-
books. Like if you throw enough shit at a wall, like some will stick. You know,
Do
somewhere.
you remember that movie?
I respect that though, kind of.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I completely respect
He was taking
that.
so much cocaine, he forgets all of
Respect
this stuff he was
what?
taking.
I respect it when someone like will just keep on throwing their shit at a wall until it sticks.
He was taking so much cocaine that he forgot everything, like almost everything he wrote.
Where did you get that?
It's a fact.
That's
It's
what
like,
everyone says.
Yeah, yeah. So like you know, you tell him it's like, do you remember writing the Dome? He's like, no.
He's like, no, I was on cocaine.
Yeah, cause he was just like, he was just like plowing through pages every day, and then like he was like, oh, this came out.
Oh, you know, here's a topic I was thinking about earlier. Like, I was gonna mention it. Products that you've never bought before. I was thinking about it.
Products you've never bought before.
You mean
It all started.
You
I'll-
mean common products?
Condoms.
I have never bought condoms or eggplants in my life. There's 2 from me.
Okay.
Eggplants. What's an eggplant?
It's exactly. So you've never bought.
I've
them
never
either.
bought fucking yams or.
I like how none of you have corrected me on the fact that I've never bought condoms in my entire life.
I said that.
I know. Well,
I buy
I'm gonna
bought
in a
condoms.
minute.
I don't buy them
I haven't.
anymore because
I've
I
used
don't
them, but
have
I've never
sex.
bought
Okay, I said it. No one will fuck me.
Well, I don't buy them because I don't believe in
I've
condoms.
never bought fucking yams or plastic pool toys that you use.
You never bought a fucking noodle, dude?
No.
Corey, plastic
You never
pool
bought a
toys
fucking-
aren't a common thing to buy.
You don't have a pool.
Yams aren't common.
Yeah, they are.
I've
They're
ne-
sweet
I've-
potatoes,
I've
dude.
never bought a yam either.
It's a sweet potato.
I don't buy
The
lettuce.
fuck is yam?
It's a sweet potato.
Gross.
No.
There's no reason why.
Yeah,
I
it's a
would
one
buy
of
Yams
those
and
long
sweet
fu-
potatoes are very different.
No, well, like they're long sweet
I thought a
potatoes.
yam was like a foreskin-looking fruit.
No. It's a potato, that's long and
I've
sweet.
never bought a fucking yam.
Yams do look like foreskins, but they're not fruits.
I've also
or
never-
maybe they
You
are.
guys
I
know
don't
what a yam is?
Also
You're
never-
gonna do a cooking show. A yam is a fucking sweet potato, long fucking potato.
I don't.
Yam is a retarded
don't
way
They're
of
kind of
saying yes.
interchangeable, but at the same time, I don't know what the fucking
There's a lot of
protractor is.
there's a
so
lot of vegetables
don't
I've
take
never
my
bought.
word for it.
I've never bought yams. Never bought beets. never
Corey, have you ever bought a
eggplant.
bag of sugar?
I
Yeah.
bought, I
Do
bought
you
a
buy
bag
groceries?
of sugar.
Yeah.
I bought a big
You
bag
can,
of sugar.
a bag of sugar is a common thing. I remember getting bags of sugar.
Have you ever bought a bag of flour?
Excluding food,
Yes.
though. What do you like not want to buy? What do you?
Food is interesting, though.
Food.
Yeah. You think? We can
Food
do
is really common.
Well,
You're asking.
The fact you bring up that question, every week I find myself buying something new that I will then buy again next week.
Yeah,
because
Chris-
I'm discovering new
For
things
example,
that make
what?
my life
Oh my
easier.
God, Chris could not be more right on this. When I first moved in with Chris in Wexford, in Ireland, there was just honey everywhere. Like just bottles of honey everywhere. You open the press, honey. You open the toilet lid, honey everywhere, honey. And then he was like, "No, I don't like honey anymore." So then you change it. What did you change it to? It was like
Honey?
peanut butter.
You don't
Then it
have
was peanut
honey
butter.
in Ireland?
Yeah, but then you have peanut butter and honey.
Yeah, no. He changed
Sandwiches.
honey.
Yeah.
The honey,
yeah.
Hell
the honey
yeah.
was slowly replaced by peanut butter. There was like,
And then the honey made a return,
You know what
right?
Chris is doing?
I
He's,
don't know.
Nah, I've never made it. I like
he's
honey.
slowly understanding how honey and peanut butter, and you start buying bananas, and you're gonna make a honey and peanut
I
butter.
wasn't even talking about that. I was talking
Holy
about the
shit.
fact where I like
peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
like every week I discover something new that's common, but I wouldn't have ever thought of using. But then I'm
Right.
like, oh wow, that's handy. I'll
That's
use
what
it
I'm
again next
talking
week.
about, yeah.
So
call becoming an adult. I
so
think.
you know exactly, and then you're like,
No,
oh,
everybody's
shit.
a fucking adult. They just live in different worlds. It's like you don't know about this shit until you have a friend that maybe suggests it, or maybe
well, what's
you
a
need
common
something.
thing you buy?
Like I'm buying candles a lot now.
Yeah, me too.
Candles.
Candles is a thing.
Candles
now.
is a good idea.
I got this sweet caramel candle. And
I've been buying candles forever.
I love having a huge supply of baby wipes
Baby wipes.
and disinfectant spray.
That's a good idea.
Disinfectant spray.
for your
s-
hands or for your booty hole?
No, I would never spray disinfectant spray in my asshole.
What
No,
about
I
baby
mean
wipes?
the baby wipes.
Oh, no, I use baby wipes on just everything. I'll have like a pack of baby wipes on my desk in my office.
You'd
I'll have
rub
one
baby
in
wipes
my
with
room.
baby wipes.
So if I'm in my office, I'm like, my Cintiq looks kind of smudgy. I'll wipe it. Or my desk is kind of
Baby
dirty. I'll wipe.
wipes?
Yeah, because they have disinfectant in them. So
And-
you're cleaning as you go, and they're just handy to have right there.
At
Why
one
don't you just get
point,
Windex and paper towels?
Because you got baby wipes right there. It's way easier.
at one point, I used to always get
You're wiping your
Pepto-Bismol.
Cintiq's ass like all day.
I wipe everything. I wipe down my keyboard. I wipe
Baby
down.
wipes?
Yeah, because they disinfect shit. So
yeah,
you're.
but they do, but they're also like scented and stuff.
Exactly, they're beautiful. So you're like, ew, the door handle. I changed my cat's litter. I opened the door like while I handled cat shit. Now I can use a baby wipe and everything's clean.
You just like the
That's weird.
smell of baby
This is
wipes.
Weird.
It is weird. I know it's weird. That's what I'm saying.
He likes the smell of
So
baby
I
wipes.
use baby wipes, and then if I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, ew, the sink looks gross, I'll spray it with disinfectant, use a baby wipe on it, and then it's all clean again. And then nobody will walk in and go, ew, it smells like Niall's ass shit in here.
Yeah. I've never bought a diaper.
That's
ever.
good. That's
Why
good.
would you ever buy one?
Adult diapers or children diapers?
Either. I've never bought a diaper.
Why would you?
What store sells a diaper? like just one.
Do you have
one diaper, Goodwill.
please? I thought it was vending machines.
Goodwill.
The
Like
only-
a dude comes in and he's like totally cracked out. He's like,
Goodwill.
I need a diaper like
The
right
only
now.
reason you would ever need one diaper is if you just shit yourself.
Goodwill. You can get like peanuts and fucking like Charlie Brown diapers.
What
That's
the
the same
hell are
thing.
I
you
would never buy a diaper brand with peanuts and brown in the same fucking sentence.
Charlie Brown.
I still don't know what he's talking about.
Brown
that-
peanut shit diaper.
Like I had his
Secondhand, isn't Goodwill a secondhand store?
A Goodwill is a secondhand store.
Why would you buy a
just get-
secondhand diaper?
Because it's not been used.
Well, in that
What are you
case.
talking about? This means it has been used.
No, it
diaper.
hasn't.
Secondhand? A secondhand diaper means it has been used,
No,
therefore
here's-
shat in.
You can.
That's the worst
stick it-
example of
stick it
where
in
to
your
get a
pocket
diaper.
and save it for
Is a
later.
Goodwill.
Occasionally I'll buy Pepto-Bismol because it's just good to have Pepto.
Baking soda is cool because you can put it in your shoes and they'll smell good. Or
Yeah, he does that. Is that a thing?
That's a good idea.
Oh, so I didn't know that was a thing.
Baking soda's my mom shit, probably the last 20 years. As long as I've fucking known her, she only uses...
You only knew your mom 20 years?
Whatever.
How about
Brush
the
your
first, like,
teeth?
15 years of your
Yeah,
life?
brush her teeth.
Yeah, baking
she
soda
keeps it in a little dish, and she hasn't used toothpaste, as far as I know.
People who use baking soda to brush their teeth have the whitest teeth ever.
I know.
Yeah.
And she has perfect teeth.
How do you do
she doesn't
that?
have any dental
You
problems.
just put your brush in it and run underwater. And
Is that a bad thing to do that?
She
No.
has a little dish by the sink. I did it
I mean,
when I was a kid,
toothpaste has
too.
baking soda, but doesn't have that much.
I have baking soda toothpaste.
But straight
Tone
up,
and hammer.
you have to have a...
Tone and Hammer's a good baking. It tastes like fucking garbage.
It's
but
harsh.
You know, people
yeah.
put baking
But
soda
it's
in their
good
fridge
for
to absorb the smell.
I used to.
To
So
me, it
it
tastes
like-
bad, so it's like, I know it's doing something good.
That's
Like,
the thing.
yeah, you
That's pretty
polish
much
your teeth with
That's
it.
pretty much the rule. Whenever you're like, when you something that tastes fucking horrible, you know it's working.
So like
It
when you
doesn't
blow
taste
it,
like
dude,
fucking
it tastes
Sunny D.
horrible, but it's working. Maybe for him more than you.
So do you guys
Does
have
it
any
taste
like
horrible?
daily, I don't know, objects or routines that other people might not have that you couldn't live without now?
Oh, here's something that's really bizarre, and people will probably be like, "What?" I always forget to put PJs on. I haven't worn.
Wow, that's
PJs.
crazy.
I haven't
That's
worn-
fucking insane.
I'm so used to wearing jeans.
I sleep
that I
naked.
completely forget to put on like
know what's interesting?
like fucking shorts, comfy
no,
shorts.
it is. It is. No, it is. More often than not, I sleep in my clothes.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'd say 9 out of 10
can't do
times.
that.
Me
I either
too.
sleep naked or in my
clothes.
I'll
clothes.
sleep with my fucking hoodie over my
So,
head.
yeah, it is interesting.
I can't
Chris.
do that. I didn't say it wasn't interesting.
I
He
can't-
just started it off with,
I-
this is the craziest
I
fucking
can't
shit.
wear fucking slippers.
No, it was
I can't
funny
wear
because
PJ
he's
pants.
like, my PJs, like he thinks at like 8 p.m. he has to go change it to his
Yeah, no, I
his
love
My
matching
onesies.
bottom top with the flap in his ass and then that little like gnome hat.
I would love to be that sexy guy who just wears those fucking PJ pants
have
with the
my-
And
same
what's
pattern.
with the gnome hat? That's like the cone, and then you sleep like this. Like why?
That's only for adorable old men.
I guess.
And the little
but,
like,
what,
candlestick
Yeah,
holder.
that's only
what
for adorable.
purpose does
Yeah,
it?
but
It's
they have, like,
"Ah,
white
who's in
ones."
my kitchen?
I've got a really weird memory of reading a book with a kid with
I
one of
either sleep
those,
with my
and someone
clothes
was
on
feeding the
or
kid with a really long
butt-ass
spoon,
naked.
and it really freaked me out.
This guy
Your
has
dreams
so
are disturbing. Like, you remember the one where you were carrying my head
I have
around
this
the
memory of being read at Storybook, and one of the pictures was a kid being fed with a really long spoon, and the really long spoon was creeping me the fuck out.
Do you
I don't
think
know
that
why.
was just like a perspective like shift to like
I don't know.
make the picture
It was like
better?
a kid kind of like tucked in the bed with a big bowl of porridge, which is kind of
That's
disturbing.
horrifying.
It's kind of disturbing because a huge bowl
This
of
is-
porridge just makes you kind of go, ooh.
This is
It's
real
like,
gross.
that would fill you up. But then the big long spoon it's just creepy. I don't know. It's like an alien's finger. I don't know.
Did your
It's a
parents...
real book.
I don't know. It was a
That's
kid's
Or a
book.
book
bizarre.
that you read this is your
Snap-
memory.
Let's talk
now.
about
My
that.
memory of it.
Let's
Stanford.
talk about books that you remember as a kid.
That's what-
Three
Maybe you
books.
just saw it
That's
that
what I'm saying.
way.
Stanford.
Three books that you remember as a kid. No, I'll go because there's like 3 books I remember as a kid.
Alright.
There's the Stinky Cheese Man. I fucking love that book. You remember that book? He has like bacon.
No!
He has bacon for a mouth and olive eyes. He was based off of the
I have this
Gingerbread Man, and he's the Stinky Cheese Man. I fucking love that.
I have a
book.
weird-
All right, before this game continues,
actually wanna
Are you
draw it.
inventing these? Do these books actually
This
exist?
exists.
That sounds so fucking made up.
Stinky Cheese Man is real.
No.
Google it. I guarantee
Corey,
this
I'm
subreddit.
sorry, but it just sounds like the most made up shit by
And
story
I'm the fucking
ever.
psycho in this group, right?
This
Fucking
Stinky-
sitting right there.
Stop! The Stinky Cheese Man
Okay.
is based. It's a parody, like gross book of
Right.
the Gingerbread Man. A
Is
guy makes a
it
Stinky
a pop-up?
Cheese Man. It's a book. It's just like a book.
Do
But
you have illustrations or? Is
yeah,
it
yeah,
straight up-
illustrations. But he's like a mozzarella cheese head thing, like with like the cut in the middle. He has 2 olives for his eyes and a bacon mouth. And he's a mischief little guy, and he like runs through the woods
Dude,
and
I
stuff.
think
and
you
he's-
ate at the International House of Pancakes and invented a book.
No, it's real. I'll draw him right now. Give me a fucking piece of paper. Give me a.
Corey,
give
no
me
one
a-
can see, so just calm
me a
down.
Make sure you show everybody on the podcast.
Corey, come back.
I remember there was this book, right, where there were these alien blobs who took over people's bodies. And it was a kid's book. And one of the alien blobs took over this girl's body, and it made me horny, and I have no idea why that made me horny to this day.
This is
Like,
what he looks like.
Because your alien blob takes over girls' bodies now. You know what I'm talking
This is
about,
what he
baby?
looks like. The Stinky Cheese Man. He looked like this.
that's a gingerbread man.
Yeah, it's a parody of it. It was
He
like
looks
a
like
gross
fucking
book.
here.
Hey, Siri,
Yes.
Stinky Cheese Man.
Dude, I've been fucking drunk
I
since
don't know
9
what you mean by
Yeah?
stinky
Yeah.
cheese man.
Book. Stinky Cheese Man book.
Hey Siri,
p.m. last night.
Stinky Cheese Man book.
I don't understand. Stinky cheese
Fucking
man.
Google it. Somebody Google. Fuck
She-
Siri.
she
She
usually
couldn't
Googles
find a
shit.
fucking spoon in a cereal bowl. She's a fucking idiot.
Siri is no Alexa from Amazon.
Holy shit!
Now I
Corey.
remember
I'm
why I
right.
love this fucking
I'm right,
podcast.
aren't I?
Yeah, he's
Look,
right.
look.
That's-
Show him the picture of him. Show him the stinky cheese man.
Holy.
I think
Look!
the Stinky Cheese
Look!
Man might be his...
Oh my god, that
It's
is.
fucking real.
Dude,
I fucking told you.
The way you drew his mouth, I thought your hand was
He has
shaking.
a bacon mouth and fucking olive eyes.
Are you sure it's not International House of Pancakes? Because you can do that.
It's right. It's right there.
At International House of Pancakes?
You guys remember Skip the dog?
Skip the
No,
dog.
I skipped that one.
What's that? What's skip the
It
dog?
was a cute little orange dog.
Oh, dude, there was a Nick Jr. program of
My
that
dog
fucking
Skip.
dog.
Clifford, the big red
Talking about.
dog.
No, Skips the dog. He's like he had.
Oh yeah,
like
there was a fucking.
He had like his
cartoon.
like fucking like schnauzer friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. The art looked like the commercials for Red Bull. Like it's like that
yeah,
really
it does look like
crazy
that.
style.
Yeah. Did you guys have I love horses, best
They're
of
my
all the
friends.
animals?
I love horses.
What the hell
They're
is
my
that?
friends.
Yeah.
What the hell is
Dude,
that?
in Ireland there was this show called Bernard's Watch, right? And it was do you remember that, Chris?
I don't remember it.
There was this weird fucking show called Bernard's Watch where it was this kid and he had this watch that stopped time, but like there was like really weird, creepy fucking pedo undertones to it where like he'd like press the button and like the first few episodes would just be like Bernard, press the button. And he went and like he'd go into a store and like he'd skip the line.
Bernard's Watch.
The line would be huge, so he'd
You
skip
say Ireland, but UK?
UK, and he'd skip the whole queue, but he'd still pay for the fucking shit in the shop because it's for kids. But then there was these weird, creepy undertones.
He'd
where,
skip
like-
the whole line?
Yeah, and like episode like 12, like he'd see like this weird black van when time was stopped. He'd be like, huh. I think he got kidnapped or something. I don't know. I can't remember what happened after that. But it was
What are you
weird,
talking about?
creepy-
Was that like a summary of your life or a real show?
I think it was a show.
Exactly.
Stamper, what are you doing for Valentine's Day? It's coming up.
What's that?
Tis the season of Valentine's Day. What are you
Oh
doing
yeah,
for
let's talk
Valentine's Day?
Valentine's
Is that a
Day.
Thursday or a Friday?
It's a day.
Do you remember Valentine's Day?
sleeping.
Do you remember,
Snapper.
do you remember that shit when you were in school and they would force you, like, if you wanted to give cards to a person,
Yeah,
you had to
they'd
give
make you
cards
fuck
to
their
fucking
kids.
everybody?
just interrupted Chris.
What was Chris saying?
Yes, Chris.
I was gonna say, would you like to go out with me on Valentine's Day?
Yes.
Can I go?
No.
No. Would you actually like to go out with me on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, let's go have a nice moonlit fuck.
You don't mean that. You're just joking.
I do mean it.
No, actually,
Really?
I think he
Yeah.
does mean it.
Dude, I have a really nice restaurant planned.
Okay.
If you really want to.
Okay.
Cool.
You probably do.
Okay, Stamper.
It is so comfortable in the Newgrounds office.
This is a sleepy cabin. We're in a cabin.
Yeah, we're in a cabin.
Oh, yeah, in the middle of the woods.
Shut up, Wolverines.
Oh, really? Oh,
Stamper, you know when you escaped the cabin the first time? How did you end up finding
Yeah,
your
how'd
way
you
back? Did you
escape?
just like do a circle around and come back in?
GPS.
What did you see
That
in
was
those
wrong.
woods, Stamper?
Niall.
Yeah, I was there, but I was watching. I was only an observer.
He was there.
Chris.
Yeah, well, me and Chris
I
were
was
peeking
also
under
there.
the bushes. We didn't think you could see
Me
us.
and Niall got stuck in quicksand.
We got stuck. We got stuck. Stamper helped us out, and then we.
Stamper, who would win? Harry Potter with his invisible cloak or Frodo with his invisible ring?
Easily. Harry
Dude,
Potter.
fucking Frodo will just get eaten by fucking ring rates, dude.
No, they're in a white room with no doors or windows. They're just stuck in there with each other.
I think the ring
Potter-
rates will be able to. Will that will
No
stop
one
the
can
ring
get
rates?
in or out. It's just Frodo and Harry.
Harry
even
Potter
fucking
has
ghosts.
magic. Harry Potter has magic.
He doesn't. He lost his wand.
He could be like Chocus Ventrocus.
And I'm talking like year 2 Harry, so he's like,
Here's Chocus
here.
Ventrocus.
It's a choke move. It causes Frodo to choke himself.
no,
So you like
he doesn't
point
have his
your wand
wand.
at someone's throat and you're like,
Chocus Ventrocus.
Chocus Ventrocus, and then food goes in and they choke on
Some
it.
Norwegian guy listening called Chocus
And then
Ventrocus.
Hermione's like, you can't do that.
You guys are
shouldn't
fucking
do
it
that.
up. They're in a white room with no doors or windows or wands.
Chocus, not Chocus Ventrocus.
Vocal? It's second year Harry Potter.
Napoleon Dynamite and Invisibility Cloak Harry are in a room.
Oh, so Darth Vader 2.0 versus
What are
Harry
you talking
Potter.
about?
Dude, fucking Kylo Ren, dude.
Kylo Ren.
Napoleon's like, this is a sweet cloak. Can I use it for a
Yeah,
second?
Kylo Ren. Dude, can I have that cloak?
Do I look invisible? This is really sweet.
Do the
You can't see Harry. He's wearing the cloak.
I really want to see a compilation of someone taking fucking Napoleon Dynamite and putting it over Darth Vader's face. Darth Vader 2.0 Kylo Ren Darth Vader. Where she's like, I'm not going to submit to you. He's like, God, whatever.
You like Darth Vader too?
You know, he's like,
We are never allowed to talk shit on any parody ever again.
that would be funny.
After that.
Do you guys like Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like loads of people hate that.
Yeah, they don't
movie.
get-
I love
It's
Lyle
so-
Napoleon.
fucking hates it. And I
No,
love
that's
it.
one of those 50-50. It's like either you love it or you
Yeah,
hate it.
Marmite. Does Lyle hate it?
Or
Yeah,
rather,
Lyle
you
hates it.
understand
I
it
thought
or you don't
Yeah,
care for it
I
at
love
all.
it.
I love
that
it.
movie.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
It's like the only quirky
I thought it
comedy
was,
I can
I thought
generally
it was
watch. over
charming
and
and
over.
well paced.
Yeah.
I like the pacing more than anything else.
All right,
would not
Stamper,
put
you
you
said
on
something that was really interesting. Movies
Did I?
that movies that stuck with you that you always remember.
Did I say that tonight?
Yeah, you
You said that like an hour ago.
You said that like an hour. You said like movies that you saw that you remember as a kid that never left.
Nah, I said a lot of. I say a lot of things.
There's something I remember seeing as a kid, and I swear to God it's
piss so
real.
bad.
I don't know how to explain it. I just remember I was sitting behind the couch, and I peeked my head up to watch what my parents were watching. It was
I
a
did the
pink
same
couch,
thing, yeah.
and I don't know, it was a white couch in a pink room, and they were watching something on the show where these kids were in a graveyard.
Your parents have a white couch. Had a white couch
In a pink room. It was Florida.
That doesn't
Vermont.
mean anything.
Well, it was like it's like common in Florida. That's not fucking important. What's important was
It's important to me, but continue.
So there was teenagers that were in a graveyard, and they were fucking with this one graveyard. Like they were smashing stuff on it, and I was watching it, and I remember
They were smashing like tombstones.
they were smashing bottles on it and shit.
Oh, okay.
But what I remember vividly was there was this. It sounds fucking crazy, but there was this demon baby, like red-eyed demon baby, that flew up and fucking bit the guy's neck and like ripped him apart, and there was just blood and all this shit coming out. And I remember hiding from the couch and not knowing what I just saw. That was one that always stuck with me.
When I was like 8, I was at my friend's house, and then he said, "My brother's watching a scary movie." So we stuck our heads around the door, and it was that scene from Evil Dead 2 where he's flying through the woods and he smacks into the tree, and his face falls down into the mud for
So
like
scary.
No, dude, right? His face is down in the mud for like 20 seconds, and his face comes up, and it's really scary. That fucking ruined my fucking. I was like ruined for like 3 years. I was like way too young for that.
I could understand that being scary with this the noise.
That was
of,
there
like,
was no context. I didn't know it was a funny movie.
That's
I
the
just
thing.
saw that
I
part.
think a lot of people have those.
Yeah.
Like I had one too. Like I came downstairs and my parents were watching this movie where two people were fucking. And I was like peeking around the corner, but it was like some Cinemax thing. Like it didn't. But to me, it was like so important. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, I'm looking at something right now that I should be looking at.
That was the same way with 6 Feet Under. That's when I first. I told you this story. I don't think we ever released it publicly, so I could probably say it. First time I ever saw like actual like gay porn.
I was when the dudes
First
in 6
time.
feet under were
Yeah,
like
when
fucking
he was
each
like
other.
hard fucking him in a fucking like parking lot under like a like underground parking lot thing. Hard fucking him. You don't understand. It was intense, and I was just like a kid. I was just like, I didn't know what I was
Fucking
looking at.
bareback, like no lube, just inside.
No, it was like the car was fucking shaking on the front of it, and he was cursing, and it was kind of crazy.
like slapping his
and then
ass
I
and
remember the cops come and they run away, but I remember my
They
parents
had,
saw
they had
me.
very serious intentions with that show. I think 6 feet under. Maybe it should
Isn't
have
that
been called
Dexter?
6 inches in. You know what I'm talking about?
I just
pretty
remember
good.
one scene. He was just talking to this guy at a party,
Thanks,
and then
man.
he's like, "You want to do
I
this?"
did like
and the guy's like, "Yeah." And then immediately there's fucking, and I'm just like, I was not expecting.
Was that the dude from Dexter? Wasn't he the gay guy in that in that show?
Probably he might have been.
Do you think there's a word for what you just said, Stanford?
What?
Where it's not nostalgia because you don't get that nice warm feeling, but when you're a kid and you see something that may not mean something to anyone else except you, but it's so important to you that it just always sticks with you forever.
Scarestalgia.
I don't even mean anything specifically scary. I just mean like something that affected you so much, but it may not have affected anyone else.
What's this?
At the same time, it's something that you can't really explain to somebody.
Yeah, that's
Nostalgia
Because
is personal, though.
it'll never
it's not nostalgia though. Nostalgia's
affect
going.
them.
I remember
It's
that.
like,
It's like, oh yeah, I remember that too, but
It's like a
Yeah.
moment you remember, but you remember vaguely what it is, and you can never recall what it is until
That's
you
like
get
a
older.
really weird, vague, powerful emotion.
You know when you like look, you like Google something to see
You're right.
if like the movie knows what it is. Like you're like, it's a movie about a girl who drowns and she comes out of the water and scares everybody. And you Google that, and people are like, "There's this movie with this scary girl in the water," and it's not even the fucking movie you're.
and then people
hoping
bring it up.
for.
Hey, do you remember this? It's like, they're like, yeah, I do. Maybe. No.
Do you
And then
ever
just
do
feel
that?
bad because nobody remembers
Do-
it. And nobody ever will.
Do you ever do
So it's
that?
very personal to
Yeah,
you, and you have to just
you
sit
really want to
and
fucking
rot on
find
it.
it and see it. It's like this game I played where for the longest time it wasn't until a channel I watched that does long plays. For the longest time, it was this fucking point and click game about dragons in like the Alexander age, where you know like the swords and knights and stuff. It was fucking Dragons of the Round Table type shit. They were all dragons, and it was a fucking learning point and click game that I got for my PlayStation that we got from school. It was a learning game, but it had so many adult innuendos in it, and I knew they were fucking
You
adult.
better clarify the story real quick. So you got a game for your PlayStation from your school that was a learning point and click adventure.
It was a learning. It was there was like a bunch of games
There's
you
a
get.
couple of holes in that story.
Was it Granny's Garden?
I have no idea, but it was a point and click dragon game that I've never played before.
Are you
and
sure it existed?
It exists. There's this one scene that the person never found that I remember vividly. There's this part where you make a cow shit, literally, and you fucking step in it as a dragon, and the dragon says,
fuck?
it's like British, and he's like, "I just stepped in shit," and he says it like that. And I remember that as a kid playing that, and then he like wipes his fucking like shitty like foot on like the step and step. He's like, I don't want to be walking there anymore. And then he like walks
This
away.
is a game?
It was a kid's game. It was a learning game.
And he says shit?
Yes, but you could also like poke people's.
Did you say shit or shite?
He said shit. He said I stepped in shit. He said it like that.
Well, I was
vividly.
playing the Magic School Bus game when I was a kid.
But you could like poke dragon pussies. Like
Magic
like
School
you
Bus.
could poke the
Do you think this
princesses.
is the source of your perversions to this
Probably,
partial to the
but you
Magic School
could you
Bus.
could poke the princess's like
Yeah,
pussy.
I think so.
She was like a dragon
Oh.
that you could poke her pussy, and it would say stuff like, "But I don't know where he's
Do you
been."
guys remember
and it would
that
make
very
me
first?
laugh.
Do you remember the very first lid?
Because it's funny.
Yes.
It's
Sweet
real.
Larry.
You were so
It's
full of
it's
shit.
real. It's
What?
100% real.
Magic School Bus.
Magic School Bus?
Yeah.
I never seen that.
You've never seen the Magic School
No.
Bus?
Come on, Magic School Bus.
I don't even know what the Magic School Bus
baby.
is.
Dude, it's like a Magic School Bus. Where they go in the school bus, it goes
Come on,
tiny.
Magic
Sometimes it can
School
go
Bus.
tiny, it can go into a body.
One of my first games was Leisure Suite Larry.
What?
Yeah, my dad.
That was like an urban myth to me when I
I
was a
know.
kid.
My dad was
I
like,
had it.
I remember, I got a very vivid memory of me and my dad and sister
I
sitting at
went over
the
this, like,
computer in the
shows.
kitchen.
Playing
And
Leisure Suite?
my dad was like, look kids, we're playing a game. And he put on Leisure Suite Larry because he obviously didn't know what the fuck it was.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suite. Sweet.
It was Leisure Suit Larry.
They both make sense
It's the same
because
thing.
he's going to a suite.
It's the same thing.
Okay, well, I remember it as Leisure Suite.
Leisure Suit means you're naked.
Oh, well, anyways, my dad was like, where do you want to go, kids? Because in the game, you get into a taxi and you can be like the beach or the store or whatever.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, so then he got to a part where there's literally a hooker in bed, like, talking to you, and he was like,
That's the whole
we'll
point.
play this again tomorrow. And then he turned it off, and then we were like, Dad, can we play it again? And he was just like, no. It's just like, why not? It's just, he wouldn't let us play it ever again. And
Chris,
then when I only
Stay
revisited
sad, we call that Leisure Suit
I
Larry.
had that
Oh.
game. I had that game on 1001 free.
Might as well
Dude,
call
it was so
I
weird.
had it on 1001 free games.
Birthday Suit
No,
Larry.
but it's really weird because if like I revisited it like 3 years ago, I was like, I remember that, and I downloaded it and I started playing it,
It sucks.
and then I was expecting the music.
Yo,
to come
Jeff
out of
should be here right now because he remembers Leisure Suit Larry
Really?
as much as I do. Yeah.
But fucking, I was expecting the music to come out of the speakers, but it comes from the fucking processor. It makes like.
Wait, what? That could not be
old
computer
Dusty.
processor.
My fucking computer itself, not the speakers, was making these creepy fucking chiptune noises.
What the fuck?
I know, it was really weird, and it's not like you can turn them down either. It was like the weirdest shit ever. But now,
so you couldn't even play it when your parents were sleeping.
yeah, it was so weird. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking beat this. So I looked up a walkthrough and I beat the whole game, and it was the biggest waste of time I've ever fucking
The
spent.
game fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, you
So
fuck like a
boring.
Native American chick. Corey, do you remember?
Like
That was a
fucking
waste of
pink
time.
It
face.
is a huge waste of time.
It affected your life
It
still,
did
right?
affect my. That's the thing. It's one of those deep
1000
memories I have, but it's so
What?
fucking.
So it
garbage.
wasn't a waste of time.
You're right.
Do you remember the 1001 free games? Do you remember that like text adventure game where but like it had like
But it
really
was.
bad fucking graphics?
I probably.
Did you have that fucking piece of shit orange controller you plug into a TV that had like 50 billion games on
Yeah,
it, and they were all
yeah.
just stolen like NES games?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. You had
The
like
Mega
Chinese
Joy
import of
2000, I think it was called.
Remember those
We
games
grew
where
up
you
in
get,
Ireland where every game came out like 9 years later, dude.
You had to go to like thrift stores. You could get
All the
like
games
those
came out on
things.
time.
except for well, like the PS2 is the most recent thing.
There's
out
this
there.
game I
Bullshit.
There's this game I remember playing, like having a lot of fun doing it. You're a ball, okay?
Cooler
Figure
World.
this.
Cooler World is fun.
I had Cooler World.
I had the demo of
If
Cooler
this
World.
is it, you're a ball. You
You-
bounce around and it's like low gravity and stuff. But you go through like those
Is it
paintings.
3D?
No, you go through like famous paintings, like William Escher paintings and shit. And you go through paintings.
MCS, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean like upside down, kind of left and right?
Yeah, you like.
That's Cooler World.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, this game was fucking awesome.
That was a good
It's
game.
just, you're just a ball bouncing around in low gravity over fucking paintings.
It was like grid based, right? Where you move it square, kind of,
What are
right?
the paintings in Cooler World? I don't think he's talking about.
I
Cooler
think
World.
he remembers it as one of those paintings.
I had 1001 DOS games, and I
I
remember
think in his
playing the
mind
fuck
he
out of these
remembers
DOS
it that
games.
way, but it was that bullshit game where you had to like rotate things.
Yeah, it was on the same Winters '98 disc.
Windows-
It's
yeah, that's where I
like,
got it. That's where I had
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell,
Toomby.
Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah,
was on.
Abe's Odyssey.
There was another one where you were kind of, it was like Duke Nukem-ish, but you were like a little mini Duke Nukem, and you come in on like a flag thing, and it was like a little platformer, and you collect CDs and gems, and it was almost like Mario. And that's what I loved about it, because I was playing Mario, and it had like the star system, but with rubies, so you collect enough rubies, you can go to the next area. And that also dealt with like platforming with like gravity flipping and stuff. There's just something fascinating about
Do
old
you guys,
DOS games.
do
That
you guys remember the Windows 98 screensavers? There was like a maze with a
the
rat
maze
and
one, dude.
cheese.
Yes, dude.
I used to watch that like for
Fuck
hours.
yeah.
I
Oh, Pipes!
Pipes is awesome too.
Pipes is the fucking shit.
I used to use that, and then I would like pretend that I was platforming on it for some reason. Like I would like follow the path, but in the maze one, I tried downloading it on one of my dad's computers because he had like the shitty computer, and I ended up downloading a virus because you couldn't actually download the fucking screensaver.
Yeah, the screensavers always came with viruses.
But it already came with it, so I was downloading it and it was already installed.
Yeah.
There was this dumb girl in my estate. I don't know if she's dumb now. I'm sure she's fine now, but like,
Are you sure?
when she was a kid, she was dumb. Like a lot of us were. But I convinced her that like the screensaver, the space screensaver, she was actually in space, and she was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Yeah, we're good!" Ah! And then I take it down. And I
remember that one too.
We're back home. And she was like,
and there was the marquee. Remember that? You could type
Oh, the marquee,
like,
yeah.
"Fuck you, Dad."
Did you ever play the game Brave Fencer Musashi?
No.
Oh my god, it was the best fucking
Classic.
PlayStation game. First of all, it was funny as fuck. And it was really fun. Because it wasn't a game where it was like turn-based. It was a game where it was like almost Mega Man-esque. Like you could take it was Kirby-ish. So you could take moves and you could use their move against them. Like I just remember there's this one part though where I went to town and I ended up like playing this hotel game. But what's funny is there's all these like connotations. Like there's like this librarian at the beginning that me and my friend would joke about, and it's like he always seemed like he wanted, because he's like, "Oh, you're such a swift learner, Musashi. You should come back with me to my quarters." He always seemed like he wanted to fuck me. So I'd always go back to him.
coming back to my quarters is that means you.
But it's funny because everybody's like that. Like
Yeah.
you go in town and then you like talk to this like hooker lady at the front, and she's like, "Oh, you're a little young for me, but I think I could go
Wait,
around
this
with
is
you."
semi-related, but a trailer came out, I think it was yesterday, where the first Oculus Rift sex game came out, where there's these girls like tied up in a dungeon.
I thought fucking Oculus
The
Rift-
first one?
Wait, hold on. I thought these assholes
The
were like.
second that shit came out, people were making sex
No, but I
games.
mean an actual game.
I
Like,
thought-
I've jacked
hold on.
off
Like a Dark
so
Souls-esque
fucking
game.
I
hard.
thought these assholes were like, no sex games for Oculus Rift.
It's not like they can stop it. They're just making.
but
a
the girls are
monitor,
gross.
essentially.
The girls are gross. They
Thank
look like
you.
PS2
That's
girls.
what they said. They were like, we're gonna no, but it's like that's what people are gonna buy it for
It's
anyway.
essentially a monitor with a gyroscope. They have no like say in why.
Yeah,
I know,
when they
they're
put it on
idiots.
the PC, the personal computer, it's like, no sex games. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah,
Chris, what's a
exactly.
gyroscope?
I jack off all
Gyroscope's
day,
that little
every day.
rotating thing inside
And
of your
I'm
phone that gives it the
glad.
rotation sensor.
Is that what a gyroscope is? I
Yeah.
heard the word, but I just never knew what it
I
was.
get bad motion sickness from any kind of peripheral like that. I
Yeah,
I
the new one is
cannot
supposed to prevent
use-
that. It's so high megahertz.
It's
or whatever.
supposed to, but I have
Dude,
really
that's gonna suck
weak
so bad when
motion
you're trying
sickness.
to jack off to.
You're getting sick.
You're getting motion.
But my
you're getting
eyesight
motion
is
sickness.
my eyesight is
From
bad
jacking
already.
off.
It's blurry, so I can't see anything.
I've never gotten motion sickness.
Yeah, I don't get it, but the refresh rate on the new Oculus Rift that's coming out is so
That's
good.
like a personal mental.
I'm still not gonna pay $600.
Oh, that dude, $600 is a steal. I think. Yeah, because you have two
$300
dude,
is a steal.
two
Literally,
insanely high definition fucking TVs in your
You
eyes.
also- you
With
also-
amazing refresh rate.
You also need like a $2,000 computer.
Well, I have one. So.
People
But you're-
bitch and moan about fucking prices. So
You're essentially in a world.
I refuse.
Yeah,
I
it's worth it to
refuse to spend this much money on an Xbox One, and they turn around and spend
They
like
do it.
$700
Angry
on a
Joe.
fucking
I'm
video card, dude. I just did it.
But why would I ever buy something that made me sick before?
No, because this has the
Well, you
refresh rate
shouldn't
so
buy
high,
it
it won't
'cause
make
it
you
makes
sick.
you sick.
Yeah.
The new one actually does
Yeah,
not
but
make
my
you sick.
cognitive bias
Corey
tells me
shouldn't
that
buy
I'm
one.
never going to buy one.
Well,
because
that's
it made
fine.
me sick.
That's
Corey doesn't need to buy one. He's
Yeah.
happy on his monitor.
That's great. That's
I would
I-
personally love to step into a world and walk across
Me
this
too.
big fucking river.
It's gay, but I'd love to climb a mountain in Skyrim or
Sounds like
something.
a horrible way to spend your afternoon.
Yeah, just fucking toiling through a river and piranhas everywhere. Like,
I mean, the Oculus will never go the way of the Ouya, but because
I'd personally love to be Jesus for the afternoon and just walk across the water and.
everyone praising
90% of all the people
You
who
see a
use
bunch of people on the
Oculus,
shore,
I'm
they're
just
just
saying,
like,
right? I went
"Yeah,
to,
you're
I was
walking
at
on the
John's
water."
house and he had the Oculus, right? And he put on this demo where you're literally
Wait.
just
Oh,
standing
yeah.
outside of a house, and
Wrong
it was
thing.
blowing me away. All you're doing is standing outside of a house, and I was like, "Whoa, this is fucking crazy!"
John was so like lovely because like when we were on the roller coaster and he'd want us to experience it to the max, so he'd get the chair and he'd be moving it to the thing. He'd be doing it wrong, completely wrong.
I
but we'd
know.
be like, "Ah."
He did. I almost hit my fucking head on the monitor because he like flew me forward. Remember that?
Yeah, but he was trying. He was trying.
But the thing is, this is what I don't
He
understand.
wasn't trying, he was caring.
This is what I don't
caring.
understand.
That's what
Roller coaster rides, like that roller coaster ride, did not make me sick. Flying around the fucking room didn't make me sick with the Oculus. When I had to,
fucking relax, dude. Yeah.
when I had to walk with the Oculus, like I had to manually move my controller and everything was completely straight, then I was fucking sick.
yeah, that makes sense though. That makes sense.
really weird.
So that for me, like,
But they fixed the refresh rate, so therefore
I could only play Oculus if I was fucking
I'm
parasailing.
only gonna buy one if you can't see the pixels. It's the only way I'll buy one.
I don't think you can. I think they.
Well, if you can't see the pixels, then I'm gonna buy one.
Don't quote me on that. Though.
As far as I'm concerned, the only reason anyone would buy an Oculus is so that you can have like macro girls sit on you.
Well, no, that'd be
That's
cool. But like, also they're like creating like this weird like celebrity simulator. You walk through a crowd and all these girls are showing you their tits, and you're like, I'm sure people will just live in that world. Where
Exactly.
like,
That's all it's going to be used as. These little quirky games where the girl's just going to be like, "Meh," like that, and you're just going to fuck their titties. That's the mini game. You're like, boing, boing, boing. You know, have your banana thing you're fucking, and you're just going to fuck it.
I'm gay. Like I'd put
I
myself
can't
on
wait for my honeymoon when my wife walks in. She's like,
She was like anime noise. Like,
I'd get married to a real girl, and we'd both go on our honeymoon on the Oculus.
That's all the
So
Oculus.
we're gonna
In a few years, you're gonna get like, oh, that's a nice tree. That's a nice. I like riding on this boat. And then you're gonna be like, all right, now where's the naked girls?
let's do a harmony. You start.
You're the boys' choir in church, and like you're the one asshole. And so I was like,
That was me.
like you're a beautiful singer, and the priest he keeps coming up to you, and he's like, listen. You've got the beautiful voice, but you can't keep going until the very end. Do you need to talk to me for a second?
Let's do a Latin choir. Make up Latin word. Make up a Latin sentence and sing it over and over.
Okay.
No. So this is how we'll do it, right? One person will go
I
like,
tried, man.
and then the next person will come in and do their own little part.
Okay.
But we'll just keep saying the same sentence over and
Okay.
over.
Like I'm the girl part of the choir.
We did the same fucking notes.
I love it so like choir was just possessed me like.
Sounds like night.
Corey, you start with another. You make up your own Latin sentence and start singing it.
Figaro, 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 Figaro.
Hey, check this out. Do cell phone brands, right?
Samsung, LG, iPhone, LG, Vizio.
And the dudes in the back, they're just like, life's good.
Samsung. What are you fucking doing?
Singing AT-AT. That's the name of the brand, the provider.
Why are you singing it so slow?
Oh, sorry.
You're singing like
Sorry. Yeah, that was too slow.
we're all like. You're like serious.
Yeah, no, you need to learn how to sing on note. Thanks for tuning in.
Good night.
Bye.